Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do light language, and then I'm going to move directly from light language to channeling, because when I do light language, it brings me to a higher vibration and helps to make that connection come in more closely. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hope your hearts are enjoying all kinds of sweet kindness to yourself. Atau yan yara tayo ko yan na mahara tayo nuru ira pahay kai na na to na hay tetu ira taha pahay to shisu noro to kuho mahai tatatin yuhuru apayen to na maka ita kahina tata ito to na maka tahi tatu chichu na ra tahi ta papa po na Kahinur to kiyana hijo mama era papa poema e kapa poenya to yama to ima popui boira baba ira baira poena maira pae ko nuru poiro inyara pae Poenya papoenyo Ranyara papa irupuru tinama nyo mo yamama o pu ira pae pu. Beautiful beings of love. This is the time of the frequency change. For those of you that are way showers, the leaders, you may call yourself the elitists without the connotation of hierarchy. The elitism comes from the many past lives, the role that you've decided to take within this particular realm at this particular time, within this particular structure of the being, the aspect of who you are within the physical. As you were just discussing the welting showing up physically as an experience within your form, the reason for these outward appearances showing up in the physical realm of the energetic experiences that you are experiencing within the etheric realm is a marker for yourself. These markers that are showing up are for your remembrance, for you to observe, to note, to question. What is this and why? And you've already deduced the what is this and why. It is a marker. Similar to if you were running a race and you wanted to know where's the halfway point. These markers are showing up as the halfway point. It is to inject into you the remembrance. The remembrance of who you are and what you've come to do, what experiences that you've wanted to associate with this ascension, this transition. Knowing that you should be in your awareness of the synchronicities, the ability that you have within yourself, within creation. The creation energy is extremely strong at this time. It is very accessible. in your determination of what you decided to accomplish prior to coming into your lifetime, and the who you are now, in this moment, in this now, and what experiences you wanted to have along the journey and the route. These markers may have shown up in previous years. For some, it may be months. As the ignition to the engine, as a forewarning of what is to come. Your engines are cranked and you're pushing on the gas, and as you press on the pedal, you're going faster and faster and faster. And these markers are a reminder for you to stay within control. The control is not just the mind and the heart, it is the balance within the fullness of who you are. And the guidance that will be forthcoming is something that you are to learn to connect with more readily, more clearly. Not doubting yourself. Knowing that you can reach out to sacred geometry, working with Metatron, working with universal energy, but of course with universal energy being cognizant of how universal it is, because it will not just be your universe. And therefore the shielding within the creation is to be placed. So that you are working with the golden Christed energy, the golden light, the ray. Reaching out to the ascended masters and to those within your guides, your guide team, your guides, as they are providing you the energetic wherewithal to have the knowing and the understanding. It is up to you to decipher and to discern how you're getting these messages. What is your gift? It is in the vision of the knowing within your clairvoyance. Is it in the sensation within your clairsentience? Is it within the flow of energetic messages coming into your mind within your claircognizance? Within your clear knowing, within the third eye, as they connect in together? Is your root chakra being activated? Similar to this one, getting previously the message of the red notice and emergency, simply meant to gear your direction, to take note of what these experiences mean. Keep track. We want you to be at a point where you are not questioning your own higher self's guidance. That through meditation and through breath work, you should easily be able to say, this is my higher self talking. Your subconscious thoughts, your understanding within yourself of these energetic movements. Some of you like to look at the magnetic streams within the Schumann resonance as a visual guidance for yourself. Some of you may be tapped into the changes in the weather, noting that the axis of the earth is not exactly where it should be. And so these physical shifts within the Earth's energy, within the Earth's frequency of how it relates to where it needs to be and where it is. But with your combined energies, putting attention and focus to that, you will be able to help and assist. And so we want you to continue to build on this focus, on this awareness, the awareness to awareness, the awareness to love, the love connection, the love train. And as you know, when you speak words, the words are vibration and sound energy. And so focusing on your toning, opening up your throat chakras to allow for additional clearing. Would be a beautiful practice for you to envelop, to experience, to be open to. The markers are in place, but you must be connected in with oneself at a higher level of consciousness for the markers to make sense. To connect in with the markers, where are they showing up? How are they showing up? What is the specific message intended for you, for your soul, for your soul's journey? Your marker will not be Wendy's marker. Your marker will not be Susan's marker. You each have your own markers because you are each a piece of the puzzle to the whole. And it is within this connection of the whole, the framework, the sacred geometry of it all. Konoro to ikapahare mo puira pao to tuira pao to popoira paenaka. Ta e o e ta vapo o e tinyu e pako ma e ta puira pa. And the language of light as it comes through, giving you connection into the stars, to your star families. As your sacred blueprints are beginning to blossom, that these messages of light will come through with more clarity. Asking your teams to assist you with understanding that clarity if it is not coming through to you clearly. It is meant to be clear. But it is in the trusting of oneself, the trusting that you are divinely guided, the trusting that your past life connections have led you to this point. That the other aspects of who you are as a being are tied into you still. They do not separate. It is not like oil and water, where they are two separate items within the jar. If they are mixed, they do not mix. It is not like this. It is more like a cord that is spun and spun and spun until it is felted, all within the constructs, within the fibers of one another, that the separation does not come easily because it's not meant to. It's meant to be a part of who you are. You're meant to be able to connect to your soul. You're meant to connect to your other aspects. And if in this particular lifetime you've made the decision to work on healing of this aspect that represents itself and shows up within this physical body of who you are, to be cleared, healed, acknowledged, this is the time to let it happen. Do not let fear slow you down from your journey. Do not let anger, hate, frustration slow you down on your journey. Go to the river and wash your feet. Douse your body. Let all of the energy flow like the stream of the water, like the stream of consciousness. It all has a purpose. All in the guidance and guidelines of what Source has decreed. Now, there are many that may not believe in Source, may not believe in Creator, may not believe in God, and that is their option for this lifetime, to make those selections and make those choices. And it is acceptable. And we ask you to look at them as a reflection of what may have been a past life. You may have chosen to wear a black hat in a past life. You may be clearing it in this life. But there are many lifetimes on many planets and many locations in the various aspects of who you are and the various aspects of who Source is as a being. And to understand that all are acceptable. Even if it is not in this current life your preference. What is important to focus on in this life is what is your preference. And follow the stream. The markers that you've left for yourself. I come to you as the energy of Jesus, and I am open to any questions that you have at this time.
Yeshua, do you have any message for me as far as anything that's going to unfold this year with Wendy and I, with our travels and with others in this group as well, when when we connect with them, if Radha and Joan join us on some of those travels, we'll see. And just any messages you have for me would be wonderful. I connected with you when I was editing a video where David channeled you earlier today, so I felt your energy through that video, and so it's wonderful that you decided to come through today. So
thank you. Yes, she connected with my energy earlier today, and as you were on the sacredness of the energy, the message that I would have for you and for Wendy and those on that journey in that path is love one another. Love yourself and be open to sharing your love with others. To allow as you know, I am part of your teams within the guidance of your, let's quote them, guides. You are all getting your messages clearly and following your guidance. It is now in the trusting. It is in the connecting to source, to the divine, to your angelic teams. Being within the constructs of the angelic realm is part of who you are. You are within the VIPs of the energetic work that is being done. And you've set the bar high. It's now up to you to run the race and jump the bars. But let me remind you that if you trip over one of these bars along the route, that doesn't mean stop running the race. That just means it may be a minor setback. That just means it may be a slowdown. That just means perhaps you didn't leap as high as you may have been able to on that particular day. And that's okay. Don't stop. If you fall down, get up and continue to run and jump the next bar with more vigor. If you find it within yourself. But this is the guidance I have for you at this time. And those on that same journey with you, running the race next to you, side by side, jumping over their bars as well.
beautiful. Thank you very much. David or Radha, do you have any questions?
Oh, I have a question, if I may.
Of course.
So as I'm, feeling into where I'll be living later this year, and exploring my past life in the Himalayas and perhaps a soul plan in the Himalayas. Um, it was my plan to be there to
Let's call it reconstitution.
reconstitution. Could you explain a little bit more about that?
It is emulating the past to bring it to the present, to carry it into the future.
So was I a yogi in this Himalayan lifetime?
You have been, yes. You may gather this energy and reconnect with it in the manner that you decide. Find the resurgence of it within your physical being. The connection to it may benefit you. And may lead you to new paths.
Yes, I'm definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
Sometimes we think that we need to walk the same path again and again and again. But I tell you this verily, the interest may lie within the path less taken, the road less traveled, for new experiences, new awarenesses, expansion. But it is okay to travel the path that is worn, heavily, easily traveled. It is a good starting point. And your question now?
Yes, I'm feeling more ready to go on the journey to explore, the energies that I've left in the Himalayas and reconnect with them. And, I'm looking forward to that exploration and where that might lead.
Yes, it's your desire to feel the vortexes again, shall we say.
But I also have concerns about, leaving my home in the US and settling in India, or trying to maintain lives on both continents. Do you have any guidance about that?
We are tapping into this one's experience of the movie Eat, Pray, Love. Go on the journey. See where it leads you. The path less taken. Will you have a rock to climb? Will there be a felled tree in the route that you must go around? Will you find challenges? Yes. The answer is yes. But it will be up to you to make the decision as to where does your heart call you? Will you be divided here and there? Will your energy be here and your energy be there? important thing is, whether you're here or whether you're there, is to be in the now. If you're here, be here. If you are there, be there. Be in the now. Because in your journey, being in the now keeps your energy together and not divided. Because two worlds divided do not have the strength of one in its wholeness. So if you make a decision to, I will be here for 6 months, 2 weeks, a year, whatever your decision, be there in completeness.
I understand. So commit to that, where I am.
When you have made the decision, you will know.
Any other guidance regarding my...
In your decision-making process, yes, in your decision-making process, similar to reviewing a map, and you decide here, there, wherever. Is there something you want to experience while you're there? Delve into it at the next level. Not just, I'm going there because I was. Make the decision to go and connect. For what? For why? For who? Just plan it out a little bit more within your frame of mind, your consciousness. Asking, of course, your guide team for insights, for guidance. That's what we're here for. And at any felled trees that need to be walked around, ask for assistance. You never go it alone, as we are always with you. Always available. Just seek us out.
Thank you so much.
My blessings to you for your journey and your choice of the road less traveled.
Looks like David has left us. So I don't know if we have any more questions for you, Yeshua, but I thank you for your long intro message. That was very informative. And we love having your energies here, as well as your mother, Mother Mary, and the
We
witch.
do tend to stand side by side often.
Yes.
It is my honor to be here and to share in these energies with all of you, including this channel.
Unless there's a message you wanted to share about your life, or any clarification about your life, that or things we might not know about your life that you'd like to share with us.
I simply laugh and say, are there not many, 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 many books written already about me? It's like beating a dead horse, to use an old coined phrase. So what I would rather focus on, honestly, truly, is the future. The guidance of being in the presence, the guidance of being connected into your heart. This is something that we practiced often, frequently. to take that moment throughout the day to be thankful and gratitude and graciousness for all gifts, for all things, for all beings. Look around in your room, just here. How many items can you count? So many. And that's one singular room. And I just like this context, so I'll say it. And in my Father's house, there are many rooms. So vast, filled with so many availabilities of unlimitlessness. So find ways to untie yourself from the limitations and allow the flow into unlimitlessness. And those will be my parting words with you today. I am most blessed and honored to be here, to share in your presence in this co-creation. And you are all beautiful and loved. My blessings to you this day. Hello.
Welcome back.
It's so interesting when he comes. He's got this kind of swarky, although he didn't really give a lot of like laughter humor, but it's kind of like this kind of swarky, easygoing confidence, assuredness. This, you know,
like when
presence.
when I've channeled him, he reminded me of kind of like a laid back surfer dude with kind of like a little, like, you know, like he'd poke a little fun.
Yeah, whatever, like it'll be fine, you know, like
he's just like an assurance that, like you said, everything will be fine. It's, you know, but he's
just, know what's funny? I noticed when I
got that sense of humor, like he'll poke fun at you in a good-hearted sort of way, in a, you know, like a little like side humor, like he'll, you know, give you a little poke of humor here and there, you know, just in good fun, you know.
But I've noticed when I channel him that it's interesting. It feels like I just kind of feel like he's like at the top of the mountain, like talking to the multitudes, kind of like I feel like that energy is like how he would be like teaching and trying to use like current day references, kind of things, like things
like
that people could relate
common
to.
man, you know, things that people relate to, or and
I find my hands like after when I like come back, I'm like what was he doing with my hands? And I'm like, he's like clapping, and I don't know, he's like doing things with my hands that I don't normally do when I channel. So I'm like, oh my God. So it's fun. I mean,
but he just kind of has this cool, chill sort of energy that just reminds me of like a surfer dude that's like confident about what he just gives me that vibe where he's kind of laid back and funny, but he's confident. Like he's confident.
So confident. Like he just knows. And so he pokes fun at the
absurdities of life or how people think, maybe. I don't know, but
now, okay, so he was giving these racing references. I don't know what those things are called, but I could kind of like see this visual in my mind, you know, those, he was calling them the bars, but I don't know what that race is called where they jump over the bars.
oh, like steeplechase.
Yeah. Yes.
Or yeah, there's
Yes.
it's jumping, but it's,
But you know what
I
I'm
mean,
talking about.
there's steeplechase. Yeah, they call it like
The bars.
steeplechase or jumping.
So he, that's like what his reference was those bars of, you know,
And so, yeah,
I was like,
sometimes
I
there's
could see
like
him
double
being on the
bars.
track and
There's like a
yeah,
top bar and then a lower bar. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And sometimes, yeah, they remove, they
I
have
forget
both,
what
they have
I,
both bars, or sometimes
yeah.
they just have the lower bar and then they put up a higher bar for
So
bigger jumping shows. I don't know.
did he really call you guys the elite? Did I hear correctly?
I heard him say elite.
Well, we
Yeah.
are
And
elite, are we?
and
I'm just kidding.
he said elite and VIP, but he also said something about, but not the hierarchy, how you would think of the elite.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm using quotes. He didn't, I don't think use quotes, but
So then how else those terms?
huh?
You know, if you're not thinking in hierarchy, how else can you use those terms? I mean,
I think he intended it as that reference of the leaders, because
Or
if you
just
think
maybe
back
we're
to
just
his, I think if
further
you look back
along
to
on our
his
path
day,
than maybe others. You know, it
if
doesn't
you
mean we're
if you
higher or
look
lower, so to speak,
if
but
you
we're
look back
just further
to
ahead.
if you look back to like his times of when he was on Earth, the elite were always like the leaders, you know, like whoever were, you know, the heads of the church, the people making the rules, the people
Like
setting the
the
pace, saying like,
Pharisees and
yeah.
Sadducees, and
So,
yeah,
but
that
I don't,
were learned men that had education, knew how to read and write, and they were the ones
yeah, but I felt
teaching
like it
others.
was a reference to, I wish you guys would have asked that question of him. But I feel like it was a reference to the fact that there are so many people who are not on their awakened path, and we're far along on our path. Like we're tapping into the energies and we're channeling and we're, you know, connecting into all this conscious awareness. And there are people who haven't started their path yet. You know, they're still doing like the whole, we're calling it 3D, right? Where they're still doing their whole 3D life.
it's just so hard to get people who are still in the 3D to wake up, you know? That they're all around you and you don't know how to help them. They don't,
Well,
they're
they
so
say
not
just be in your
open.
light, and that is helping them. That's all you have to do. Just be there, be in your
Yeah,
light. Yeah.
I've learned that you don't have to do anything for other people, even though you care about them. And I sometimes feel that what you're saying, Radha,
Yeah,
too, where you
like my sister.
Yeah.
is it, well, you see that they are causing their own suffering, they're causing their own struggles, that like they're creating that in their experience based on holding on to old beliefs or programming or whatever. And yeah, you want them to wake up so that they can see what you see, but
Yeah, or just be open to
they
a new
have free
idea.
will and they have to reach their own awakening in their own time. And you can have
Right.
love, you can
Just
hold,
to allow them to have their own journey. That's their
yeah,
choice.
and
You
that,
have
yeah,
to
just
allow it.
Yeah,
respect and
Yeah.
allow them to have their journey and just hold, yeah, if you hold your vibration of love and compassion and yeah, focus on holding that energy within yourself, that will help shift the human collective. That'll help shift the people around you. Or, you know,
Yeah, for
if they
sure.
come in contact with your energy, yeah, it may trigger them, especially if they're not really to let go of old beliefs and so forth. But at least you'll plant the seed. Yeah. Like your energy just being in their presence will maybe
And even
plant
I
the
think
seed for them to
because I've
for
gotten
later. I don't know.
I've kind of got the messages that like even when we're like going on our journeys together, like, oh, we're gonna all go to, like, when we're in New York, you know, oh, we're all gonna be in New York, and you know, maybe you'll post some group photos or something. People are still seeing that. It's still, maybe it's not conscious, but subconsciously getting into their minds of, oh, like, what are they doing? Because I've had people reach out to me that have said, oh, you've talked about this, or I saw you did that, and you know, can you tell me a little bit more about that? So if they're at that point where they're willing to ask those questions, they may ask them of you, but also they may just be asking that of themselves, to be like, oh, let me Google that. You know, let me check that out. Like, hey Siri, I have a question. So it's, you
Or
know,
just that if they see you just being your authentic
happy,
self
you know,
and putting yourself out there. Yeah, if you're being just authentically you and truthful to who you are, yeah, and people see that and say like, oh, they're not living in fear. They're not restricting themselves or hiding their true expression, you know, even if it, you
right.
know, yeah, it's just an
Yeah.
example. You're just an example
But I
of
just
that.
see,
And people will be like, oh, you know, they'll look at themselves and be like, well, I want to be happy like they are. I want them to be joyful, happy, you know, traveling the world, having fun, whatever, you know,
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is.
but a lot of them just think I've joined a cult and they're worried, you know?
Well,
But you know what?
I've
That's
been
something that you
accused of
can,
channeling the devil by my
yeah, you
relatives.
can like,
So
you can, well, what's interesting is that sometimes when people say that, like, it can trigger us to be like, oh my God, like, why would they say that to me? And maybe it hurts you, just like you said, like, oh, that,
yeah, this was a couple years ago and I did get triggered initially, but then I looked at it a different way, that
right.
they're
Or
just
like,
in their belief system and
or
they're
like
not
being
ready
called
to
a
see beyond,
witch, you
they
know, that,
can't
oh,
see beyond that belief
you're,
system yet,
you're
you know.
working the woo, you know, so I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm using air quotes so much tonight, but but you know, you're working the woo, you're kind of off in like la la land, or oh, one of those people, you know,
Yeah.
where, you know, years ago, you know, they put you on a stake and burn you or drown you, stick you in a well, you know, lop
Well,
off
they're
some
in
limbs, slice off your
judgment,
tongue, you know what I mean? Like,
separation,
yeah,
fear, yeah,
so
fear
it's
of
kind
what's
of like,
different.
yeah, so it's kind of like tapping into your own self, like, okay, is this triggering me? Like, what is it? How is this affecting me? And does it really affect me? Maybe it doesn't even really affect me. Like, okay, you said that, but am I hurt by that? No. Because, you know, because like you've gone through your own energy, or maybe it brings up a limiting belief where you have to say to yourself, oh, that kind of triggered me. Like, do I think something like that about myself? Or was there a lifetime that I was judged for that? Or
I I
you
think
know,
you're a witch. I want you to share some of your spells. You got any potions?
I do. It's called mugwort. Milk
Yeah.
thistle. Can't even
Yeah.
say it. Milk thistle.
It's just mind-boggling how long it takes people not to be cynical about this stuff, you know, and just close
Yeah.
their mind to it. So,
I for me, I just kind of was like, you know what? You do you. I'll do me. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You focus on you and I'll focus on me. And if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't have to follow me, like me, watch me, talk to me. That's fine. So it's
Yeah,
just
I've
having
just had
that
people
courage
drop
to
out of my
be,
life, and
yeah, it's
that's okay
and
if
it's
they don't
okay.
resonate with my energy anymore, or because
Mhm.
I've shifted, and
Yes,
so
exactly.
therefore,
And it's okay for you to shift, because that's
yeah,
why
and
we're here. We're the
I've
family.
accepted like our time together is done. Yeah, I've had friends just move away or disappear from my life, or they
Yeah,
get triggered because my energy shifted and I can no longer be
Some
who
relationships
they
are
want
meant
me to be.
to be
They want me to
short,
be my old 3D self, and I'm not that person anymore.
and
right,
others
You
are
know,
meant to be long-term relationships. Some are just to be short, so you learn something and then that's it.
right.
So like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And family, interestingly enough, is where we've chosen our family to have our biggest
oh my goodness.
challenges, our biggest lessons, our biggest learning lessons. And so even from my own family,
Is that why
it's kind of like I'm beyond. We've already gone past those lessons. Like they're over and done with, and you got what you needed to get, and I got what I needed to get. And you know, if you're happy in where your spot is, then good. You're like doing what you're supposed to do. If I'm happy where I'm at, then good. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's okay to have those relationships drop off when they're not congruent anymore.
Well, when you think that
it's kind
yeah,
of like the polarized, kind of like how Mary was saying with the polarized magnets, right?
Yeah.
Why are you forcing it? Wait for the flow to come where
Yeah.
where they can go together. And if it's going to be this, then it's okay to be like, okay, they don't go together. round peg, square hole,
Well, when you look at life, that we're all eternal beings and we're just playing a game, right? We're just
yeah, exactly.
that this is all about just having experiences. It's not good or versus bad.
Right.
And when you stop defining things as good versus bad, when it's just like, okay, this is just an experience I'm having, like a holographic illusion in this world of separation we live in. I'm an eternal being, a powerful creator, and I'm creating this experience for me to learn something
there
from
is
it.
high vibration and low vibration, though. Even
Yeah, I mean, it's a
bad.
world of duality, a world of polarity, a world of separation, and the ego's playground, as they say. And but when you realize, like, it's your own consciousness playing out on the stage in front of you, that things that are showing up in your reality are just mirroring to you what's going on in your own consciousness. And you're like, oh, well, if I shift my own consciousness within my own mind and get rid of these old beliefs, get rid of this old program, to get rid of the separation consciousness, the judgment, the judgment of self and others, or needing to control things, needing to define things, because I used to, of course, overanalyze, and I've gotten to the place now in my life where I can just be without resistance, kind of like that Bashar message, without resistance, without insistence for the outcome, without resisting life, but also not insisting life be a certain way.
Right, not having an attachment to an outcome.
And it's more just having like what Mother Mary said, being in the feeling space of what feeling and what emotions, what feeling, what energy do you want to hold within your own consciousness, and then everything else will fall into place. Everything else will be attracted to that. You just have to sit and be. And I've noticed that now that I've gotten rid of all like restrictions or trying to control things or overanalyze things. And once I've let that all go now, like I just sit and be, and I can see the flow of life to me. I can see that all the synchronicities of things just lining up. And I just trust that now. Like I don't question it. I don't, like worry about the future or regret the past. I'm just like in the now,
in the flow.
Yeah, and I just notice the synchronicities guiding me forward, and then I respond to that, and I trust that, and trust my inner guidance about it, about what's showing up in life. But I'm in the state of just excitement about, just excitement, allowing, expecting the best outcomes, and I do say intentions every day related to that, like I attract my highest good, money comes to me easily and frequently, miracles and magic occur in each moment of my life, I'm in my highest passion and excitement of everything in my, in everything in my life. And I'm open to receiving abundance in all forms. Like anything that makes me feel good, and whether it's, just singing silly gnome songs, or, I don't say silly, but I mean, being in that playful childlike self of like, what am I going to play with today? What am I going to create? Like, what pictures am I going to draw? What am I going to, like when you're a kid, you just run out the front door to go play. And that's how we should feel every day about our lives, you know, and I try to, you know, feel that, you know, about my day, even if I have to work during the day or, you know, like you know, I try to play with my cats or go take a walk in nature or just step outside the, you know, door and, you know, connect with the trees, you know, whatever it may be. But yeah,